Hi guys, thanks so much for joining us here. Now sit back, relax. This is going to be a deeper dive. We'll be talking possibly for about 10, 15 minutes. I'll try to keep it short. However, it's really important we cover the whole thing because we go through from Monday's minutes on Monday to Wednesday. We do a bit of a coffee fit tip. And then on Friday, you got the weekend to catch up on these videos. If you've got more time, watch it on your big screen. But this week we've been talking about M&Ms and why you can't stop eating chocolate. And what do they really mean? And we're going to discover all of this. We want you to go from the sin king feeling to the king. That's the 4 phases we talk to this. So by the end of this video here, in 10 minutes, you're going to know how to change the shape of your life completely and get your old body back. And it's not because you failed before. The diets, you didn't fail. The diets failed you. The programs you were on with other trainers, other nutritionists, they were actually failing you because they weren't acknowledging what was really happening in your life. So sit back, relax. We're going to get right into this, and let me paint a picture of you or to you of what happens when clients come and see me. I've been doing this for over 4 decades, training people down here, and I'm the trainer from down under. I've been doing personal training, an ex-phys ed teacher. I've been working with people, changing their shape and changing their lives for good and getting their old lives back. So here we go. What happens is you're standing at a fridge. It's midnight. It's dark. Nobody's watching you, and you're eating straight from the fridge. You've got a container of ice cream, whatever it is, leftovers, whatever it is. You're not even tasting the food. You're just eating. You're consuming the food. You got the fridge door's open, you got your foods there, and you're just consuming. And that's what happens a lot to my clients. What they often find is they're driving home from work, they decide to get petrol. They pull into a service station to get petrol. Next thing you know, they've got a chocolate bar in their hand. And as they're walking back to the hand car, they discard the wrapper into the bin, because if someone finds the wrapper, it means they're guilty of eating food, and they'll kid themselves. I bought this chocolate for a friend or to take home for the kids. And by the time they've got home, the chocolate bar's gone. So this is what happens a lot to people. They end up consuming food. The wrapper's gone. There's nowhere to be seen. There's a drawer at work, the secret stash. You're hiding. You feel ashamed. This is called consuming. This is what happens so much and so many times to my clients. So stick around, because I'm going to go through the 4 pillars of what happens and how we change your life and get your body back. So bear with me, because you can't see your toes anymore. You're feeling guilty. You can't even bend over to put your shoes on. You're buying those, pull-on shoes. You avoid looking at yourself in the reflection of the shop window as you walk past. The kids ask, "Come in, Dad, get a photo." You don't want to. You hold your stomach in as you try to get that photo. If you don't want to get that photo. And maybe you've gone to the trainers. Maybe you've gone to join the gym. Meal replacements. You'll start on Monday. You've gone through all these things. You think it's about your motivation. You think you're the problem. You think you're tired, you're angry, you feel alone. And then next thing you know, bang, you're back at the fridge. You're back at the servo, and you've got the same cycle happening again after again. And you tell yourself, "I've got no willpower." And this is what you think it's going to be. And this is what we call here on the program, in our King program, we call it the sinking the stage, because you feel guilty. Society makes you feel guilty for this. So you're in the sinking phase, right? Now we've got to get you out of that sinking phase and get you out and from being stuck and get you out of that. And that's what we do here. Let me tell you about a guy I trained. He was in the sinking phase, right? He was working really hard, stressed at work, pressured at work, but working hard, successful at work, carrying the extra weight. He'd tried diets, he'd seen dietitians, he'd seen personal trainers. The personal trainer said to him, "Hey mate, you got to stop eating chocolate, cut out the M&Ms, blah, blah, blah." He's got packets everywhere. He's got packets of M&Ms in his drawer. He's got a few packets at home. So when he came and saw me, I said to him, what do you do? And he goes, "I eat particular food." And I want to lean in and find out why. Because why do you choose the particular food you do? You choose the specific food, and there's a reason why you choose the specific food. I choose the specific food I eat. What are you eating? So I asked him what he eats. He said M&Ms. I said, "Wow, M&Ms. Fair enough. Why M&Ms?" He said, "They taste good." I said, "Yeah, but there's a lot of stuff that tastes good. So why M&Ms?" what is it in the M&Ms that this guy wanted? He said, well, I started eating M&Ms probably first memory when I was about 7. I said, okay, what happened when you were 7? He said, oh, I have M&Ms because well, my dad brought the M&Ms home after work on Thursday nights. He'd bring home the M&Ms. I said, okay. Thinking to myself, okay, then what? He said, well, I'd run to the front door because I hear his car coming. And he goes, I can still hear the footsteps now. And I run to the front door, hear his footsteps. He opens the door. He grabs me. We sit down on the couch, puts his arm around me. He reaches in his pocket and he pulls out the yellow pack. I said, okay, then what? And we start sharing the M&Ms. So you tell me, come on, the penny drops here. Is he eating food or consuming a memory? You know, his heart would race as he ran down the street, ran down the corridor. You know, his dad's arm around him. So he's stressed at work. He needs some support at work. You know, I kept asking him some questions. You know, is your dad still alive? He said, no, his dad passed away. Okay. I said, okay. So what happens now when you're eating them? He said, I just eat them. Okay. Do you eat them or do you consume them? Are you craving a night? Are you consuming a memory or you're eating food? You know, he's reaching for that feeling of being loved and protected and feeling special, and that's great. And so the trainer he had and the nutrition he's had before said, cut out chocolate, cut out, you know, get rid of the M&Ms. You know, this is not good. So we want you to, it's not good because they're asking him to cut out the love he has for his father. You know, and this gets repeated often, over and over again. So we've got to go from the sinking feeling and we've got to get into the thin king feeling. Get you guys thinking, because once we think and acknowledge what's really happening, once we do that and we acknowledge what's going on, then we can get to a really discovery part of your program. Because it's not about the M&Ms, it's not about chocolate, it's not about Thursday nights, right? It's more than that. It's a memory. So getting someone to cut out that memory, it's never going to work. You know, this guy hasn't got a lack of willpower. There's no way. There's no such thing as willpower or won't power. You know, he's in the sinking phase. He's stuck in the sinking because no one's helped him acknowledge that before. And once we do that, and these memories are precious, so we're going to lean in. So I said to the guy, hey, I want you to eat your food. He said, what? You're not telling me to stop eating the food? I said, no, you're not going to cut out the memory of your father. No way. We're going to eat food. I want you to eat food. This is where we do the thinking. We're going to eat food, but we're not going to hide the food. Okay, we're not hiding the food anymore. That's the secret. I want you to get the food, you know, drive somewhere special. If you want to drive to the service station, drive somewhere special. Turn off the TV. In his particular case, when he was stressed at work, I got him to, get his M&Ms and put his M&Ms, open the packet. What does it smell like when he opened that packet? Did he smell the memory of his father? Open the packet. And we did this at the gym. And he bought a packet of M&Ms in and he felt it and the sound that made. He really heard that sound again. And he reminded him of his father and the driving up the driveway and running towards the front door. I said, now, smell the M&Ms, smell the packet. What are you feeling? I asked him, what are you really feeling now? You know, this is important. And then when he put the M in his mouth, I said, don't bite it yet. Just feel the taste, feel the lips around it. You know, sit down, turn off the TV, really get in there, crunch the M&M between your teeth. What banged? What flavors explode there? What comes up in the mind? This is really powerful. You know, it's not about the chocolate, guys. It's not about the M&Ms. You know, it's everything. I want you to really taste it. You know what happened after that? He went down to 5 M&Ms, then 4 M&Ms, then 3 M&Ms. He has 3 M&Ms a day. He opens his office. I've got the drawers down here. He opens the drawer, not the door. He gets the M&Ms. He sits there, turns off his computer. So when he's stressed at work, he acknowledges the fact that he's stressed at work because it's going to happen. And he gets in to this thinking phase. He's not stuck anymore in sinking phase. I love you being in this sinking phase. We've got to get into the thinking phase. And this is great. You know, that connection, we honor it, we acknowledge it. And he moves in. He's having 3 M&Ms a day. He's gone from a couple of packs of M&Ms a day, some chocolate on the way home, No more consuming, and he's gone into the thinking phase. And this is awesome. This is great. 3 M&Ms a day. How good is that? Now, we do about 4 weeks of this in our program here at the Men's Movement. Once you get the 4 weeks of that and you've changed your shape and you've changed your approach, then we consolidate that in a walking phase. And that's where we get you to become, right here, we get you to become a front door champion, and we get you walking every day, and we get you reaching for the front door. So when you're stressed and you find yourself walking towards the fridge door, we get you walking towards the front door. And with my program, we get you walking every day. And it's amazing when you walk. And when you're walking, you've got me in your ear, and I'm training you every day. And we talk about stuff like this. We talk about other things about food and memories and training and the anxiety and pressure and all the sorts of things that happen in guys' lives. And we get you in the walking phase. And we consciously do this. And when you're walking, we're talking about not just the M&Ms, but how you're feeling. You know, and they can be in the glove box still. They can be in the drawer at work. And I share stories of other guys have had exactly how you're feeling when you're in the sinking phase. I share stories. We're going to never be in that sinking phase again. So you're in phase 0 where you're starting right now. You're watching these videos and you're about to start. You're beginning. You're already on. Don't worry about starting a program. You're starting a program. Then we get you the thinking program, and then we get you the walking program. And this is great. We honor the feelings and we get you going. There's no willpower here. There's no guilt feelings here. This is fantastic. Then you go to the thinking stage, and you'll probably lose about, in those 2 stages, possibly close to, say, 10, 15 kilograms without even joining a gym, without even hitting a gym. You know, this is the great thing about this, because you're going to change and get your body back and get your life back forever. And then what we do then is we go to the bulking phase. And the bulking phase of our program, this is the bulking side of the program. God, I wish I was you can tell I wasn't an English teacher, can't you? We get you in the bulking phase, because we're going for this is the King program, guys. This is a really special King program. The sinking to the thinking to the bulking phase. And the bulking phase is great because we're going to get you not just feeling, you've probably got your shoes, you can put your shoes back on and tie the laces up now. You can look at yourself in the mirror and say, wow, now we're feeling good. Now we go to a gym and we align you with a gym. So with our program, we'll get you and honor you with a gym, and we'll help you go to the gym and start doing the gym phase. And the great thing is now you're training about 10, 15 kilograms, you're lighter. So you get less chance of results. Imagine when you went to the gym, say 6 months ago, and you're 25 kilograms overweight. You don't even like looking at yourself in the mirror, and there's mirrors everywhere. And you're feeling so stressed just being there, and the music's on and all that sort of stuff. You're going to walk in there standing tall, proud, 15 kilograms lighter. And that's what we do here with the sinking, thinking, bulking phase. Your knees won't hurt. Your back won't hurt. So when you do the exercises, you're not in pain. And the great thing is you're not huffing and puffing because you've done the walking phase. And you get better results. And not just get better results, you get your life back. And not just that, if you're with a trainer, you're doing the exercises, you're not in pain, and you'll keep doing them and keep doing them and keep doing it because the habits lock in. And that's the stuff you'll be doing in the walking phase. I'll teach you this stuff. You're not just throwing weights around, okay? You're building strength, you're building definition, you're building confidence. You become, if you like, you're a king of your kingdom. You're a master of your domain. You know, you're not fighting about food anymore. You're not fighting your memories. You're a king. And the best thing about the king in your kingdom, here's where it gets really fantastic, guys. We get this ripple effect. Look down there. We change the shape of the community, not just you. We change the shape of the whole community, one man at a time. What happens is your kids will notice, your wife notices it, your mates notice it in work, and what you start doing is you help them. Your mates go, what are you doing? What's going on? You look different. What's going on? And you tell them about it. My mate, my client, he tells other people, and they get on the program, and they start eating differently because they eat food. He tells them about what happened with his M&Ms. His mate says, wow, I do that too. My mum used to bring me chocolate Tim Tams when I was studying VCE, and I'm craving chocolate Tim Tams every night. No, you're not. You're craving a memory. It's a memory. It's an association. Okay, food has an association. So now there's two kings. There's my client and his friend. And then he gets his brother involved. And it has a ripple effect. Look at that. We change the shape of the whole community one man at a time, one step at a time. And it creates a ripple effect. And we change the whole kingdom. We change the relationships with your friends, your partners, your kids will change. And that's the complete journey. That's the whole thing, guys. That's what we do here at the Men's Movement. You know, not just lose and change your shape and get your life back, but we get everyone else's. And this is the King movement. This is about getting everyone's back. So there's some programs out there and it's great. But what they promise is they merely add years onto your life. What we do is we get your life back. There's the difference, guys. We get your life back. That's the program. So check out the link below. You know, you got the front door challenge here. We want you to become front door champions. You got my free book. You can go to the link below and get my free book here. Where's my free book? Here it is. Where's the button for the book? There you go. There's the gift for the book. Free book right there if you want to get my book. Check the links, become a front door champion, and we hope you've enjoyed today's session. And next week, don't forget, don't miss next week, so get rid of that free book there. Don't forget to do this. I love this. You can subscribe to the thing, subscribe to our program, and you can get all these sessions come to you weekly. So next week, we're going to talk about more, another example about what happens in the movement. Monday's Minutes, Coffee Fit Trips on Wednesday, and the Deeper Dive. Thanks for sticking around on the Deeper Dive. We look forward to seeing less of you next time. Take care. And reach out to me. I love the feedback. Thanks, guys. Cheers.
You've been listening to the Men's Movement. Look forward to seeing less of you next time.